calling in via speakerphone later, so we might hear a couple funny stories from him later. But I just have a few choice words from some folks. So this is from Brent Blackwelder. He's the president emeritus at Friends of the Earth. He's one of the instrumental folks who has brought about Friends of the Earth, a national environmental organization. This is what he had to say. PJ, thank you for all your hard work, both in Missouri and across the nation, with the state environmental coalitions and leaders. Your keen interest in elections as an essential component of many environmental campaigns has helped get focus on the jugular vein of many battles. Be in touch anytime, Brent. So that's Governor Bob Holden, actually, he sends his regards. He wanted to be here tonight. He's a friend of the organization and PJ. He's out of state tonight, but wishes PJ well in all his future endeavors, and thanks him for his excellent work toward cleaner energy for Missouri. That's Governor Bob Holden. We have word here from Rick Hunter, founder and CEO of Microgrid Energy. Microgrid is a large solar company based in Missouri, and they have more of a national focus these days. They're on a staff retreat out in Colorado, and they weren't able to be here. But this is what Rick had to say. PJ is one of those people that embodies the famous Margaret Mead quote. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. PJ led a team that changed the course for clean energy in Missouri. There have been few people with as much passion for the cause and clarity around the issues. The enemies of clean energy feared PJ above all others. He was a force to be reckoned with. PJ, something tells me that despite your moving on to new things, you will always be helping fight the good fight alongside Renew Missouri and others. Best of luck in the future. And finally, this is from Glenda Abney, friend of the organization. She works at the Earthway Center at Missouri, Mobot, Missouri Town Gardens. Here's what Glenda had to say. What an incredible man, so full of passion, so dedicated to the environment. We've been able to work with Renew Missouri in a variety of ways over the years, and it was always a pleasure to interact with PJ. He was always able to personally understand how to meet us where we are, understand the limitations of our institution, yet embracing the ways we can engage on certain topics. This is so appreciated. He even personally ensured that we were able to interact with other staffers we needed to work with, even negotiating conversations when necessary. From all of us at Earthway Center, Missouri Botanical Garden, we truly wish PJ all the best in his next endeavor. He'll be missed, but his legacy and impact will remain. Good luck, PJ. So those are just a few words of people who couldn't be with us tonight. But I've got a quick few words for myself. And I'm sure that a lot of you have funny anecdotes and stories, be they embarrassing or otherwise, or fun, or touching. And I encourage folks to volunteer throughout the night if you feel so inclined. But really quick, I just want to say a few things. So our fearless leader here, PJ Wilson, he's had a huge impact on our state and on the people in this room specifically. PJ, he left his career as a civil engineer and started Renew Missouri with Aaron Noble here back in 2006, in the ancient year 2006, more than a decade ago. And their accomplishments since then have included, the development of and the passage of the net metering statute back in 2007, which essentially enables the solar industry as we know it today. The harrowing and the very unlikely effort of Prop C, which is sort of a model for how you run a ballot initiative in states. It passed with 66%. Highest percentage of any RPS standard passing by ballot initiative, I think, still today. Other things like the passage of the PACE statute in 2010, the founding of MOSIA later that year, and that's not to mention hiring a staff that helped him fight for efficiency investments, things like litigating the Supreme Court decision that restarted the rebates in the Empire Service Territory. We're talking about millions of dollars of investment here. He guided advocates through numerous rulemakings of the PSC and helped negotiate clean energy folks through numerous legislative and legal disputes. So there's a lot of success that you can point to here, but you know, he did all of these things with a lot of passion and an uncompromising attitude on principles, and just with an approach where you couldn't ignore the enthusiasm and the force of change that he was ushering through. He also developed into quite a talented fundraiser. I mean, I don't know what the grand total is over the years, but it's in the many millions of dollars. If you consider Renew Missouri, MOSIA, and all these organizations, it's in the many millions. So I hope we'll hear some further anecdotes and stories about how PJ has affected some folks. But I feel like I've had a front row seat for the last 5.5 years or so, and I feel like I'd probably be doing insurance defense in some law firm. If it wasn't for PJ. I mean, PJ gave me my first job out of law school. He probably taught me, you know, everything I know about advocacy, you know, from how to testify before a legislative committee, how to raise money, how to set up a conference call and make sure that, you know, notes are taken on that conference call and things happen afterwards, and how to be a generous supervisor and get the most out of people. One of the things that I've definitely learned from PJ is how to walk into a room of very impressive people and powerful people and, you know, act like you belong there. And take it seriously, and to arm yourself with enough information and energy that people just can't help but listen to you. That's a skill that I've learned from PJ. I remember back in 2014, one of our many legislative battles, we were trying to renew a energy efficiency tax credit, tax deduction. Just a small thing, you know, but it was a uncontroversial thing, and everybody supported it. It was a thing we've been working on for months, and everyone was telling us, look, it's the last day of session, go home, but you guys did a great job, you tried hard, chill out, shut up, go away. And PJ, just for hours and hours, we were walking the halls and bothering people, and lo and behold, somebody wanted to be a hero and brought it up. We're talking the last 15 minutes of session, and brought it up, passed nearly unanimously. I mean, and there's tons of stories like this, right? Aaron Noble could probably tell the story a little later on of Luann Ridgway walking her dog, and thus the PACE statute was brought up quickly in the Senate and passed, and now we have PACE in the church. So there's a lot of stories like that, but I think it speaks to PJ's his attitude towards advocacy, and it's about, you know, not giving up, not being convinced to deviate from what's right and what makes sense. And, you know, for this lesson and many more like it, Renew Missouri and this community here, we really owe PJ a huge debt. So. So as we raise our glasses to toast the end of the PJ Wilson era at Renew Missouri, we thank him for his tireless work, for the many laws he's helped to write and pass, for the conferences he's planned, for the happy hours and the float trips, and for being a generous boss and a great friend. So cheers to the last decade, and we wish you all the best in the one to come. So PJ. All right. Okay, where's Elizabeth? Can you help me with